We live? It's fucking cold in my office, dude. I'm getting all this set up, but it's cold in here, like icy. Whatever. It's good for the computer, right? I did a video, and there was a dead pixel, like dead on my fucking face, and I don't see any dead pixels on here necessarily, so must have just been something with the downloading. Real exciting Twitch content, guys. Me looking for dead pixels on my camera. I'll be back later though. We're gonna do some TikTok stuff in a little while, which should be fun. Oh, Brian, talking about Starfield. I want to do a Starfield stream. It's kind of the game that. Why are you just bursting in here like you fucking own the place?
I didn't know you were in here.
Trying to talk to my friends.
You have friends?
Don't embarrass me right now.
You should always be embarrassed with me. Always.
Wives. Anyways, I want to play Starfield, but Brian was like, oh, I guess I shouldn't. This is a personal message. Brian, I'm talking about you, dude. Starfield is totally an astronaut gunslinger experience. I played like 300 to 400 hours before they had mods, and I had a lot of fun with it. The bugs and exploits that they removed from it and the new Game Plus gameplay loop are the main reason I haven't revisited it yet. I played that entire game like a combo fet, solo, smuggling, contraband, and bounty hunting with my jetpack. Like, that is kind of why I want it. I mean, anytime you're talking about Bethesda, when people are bitching about like bugs, to two older guys like Brian and me, who, you know, Oblivion was like our game for years, and then Skyrim, like those games are riddled with bugs. Everybody says Fallout 4 sucked. Fucking love Fallout 4. I love Fallout 4. I thought it was so good. And so I was reading a review last night, and they're like, well, although Starfield's not up to par or up to snuff, it's still much better than Fallout 4. And it's like, it's a weird. What are we comparing when we're reviewing these games? Are we comparing? Because in the review they also compared Starfield to Baldur's Gate 3, which, I mean, they're both RPGs, granted. But then they were comparing it to like Elden Ring and stuff. I know Elden Ring's an RPG, but like I wouldn't compare Baldur's Gate to Elden Ring necessarily. Maybe very generalistic, like they are both RPGs, but I would be more apt to compare Elden Ring to like, what is that, Bloodborne, you know, Dark Souls shit. And then I would compare Baldur's Gate to games like Neverwinter Nights and Dragon Age and Mass Effect. They're just different. And I wouldn't compare Dragon Age to Skyrim. They're two drastically different types of video games. So, like, I might be in the mood to play Dragon Age, and I might be in the mood to play Skyrim. They're two different experiences. So I'm going to compare. Obviously, you're going to compare Starfield to Skyrim. And are you comparing Starfield to Skyrim with all of its nostalgic value and all of the time that everybody put into that game? Because, I mean, that is probably one of the most played video games in history for its extended period. Like, Skyrim and Grand Theft Auto 6, but what are we comparing this game to? So, like, I'm more interested in talking to somebody who's a fan of Bethesda games, obviously. And then is it fair to compare a game in 2025 that just came out 2 years ago to a game that came out 14 years ago? It doesn't automatically, just because there's 14 years difference doesn't automatically mean the game's going to be better either, right? Or worse. It's pretty. That's the thing about reviewing video games and movies and books and shit. It's subjective. I mean, you need to. If you're just making an article online, who are you appealing to? And is this article written for me? Probably not. You know, so it's hard for me, and I haven't looked at much on Starfield. I've been waiting to just play it. I did the same thing with Baldur's Gate 3, and I was like, oh, everybody's right. This game rules. So my fear is when I play Starfield, I'm like, oh, everybody's right. This game sucks. But I don't know. Even my son-in-law is like, dude, Starfield sucked. I don't like it. It's not balanced. It's lifeless. It's boring, and that is a concern. But the way Bethesda works, you know, I can go out and explore, and I really like Fallout 4. Half that game for me was just walking around and checking shit out, you know, and finding things. That was fun for me. So that aspect of Fallout 4, I'm hoping is kind of this. And so yeah, sometimes you're gonna not find anything, but I think the thing that'll also make it fun for me is streaming it and talking while I'm playing it and going on adventures and kind of like documenting those adventures. I feel like that is a really good, solid stream plan. And I know Starfield's been streamed a bunch, but I don't care. It hasn't been streamed by me. So.
Would you like any eggs?
No, thank you. I'll eat after we get back from the store. Cause I want to go take a shower, and I don't want. And we're gonna leave like in half an hour, aren't we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on.
Get out.
Come on.
Love you.
Love you.
Anyways, I was mostly getting on here to make sure there isn't any dead pixels. We'll look at Twitch and see what's going on there. It's really not a big deal. Yeah, I'm getting stoked to play Starfield. It'll probably be a week or two. And then I'm trying to decide, am I going to do Rebirth or am I going to do Starfield? I think I'm going to start with Rebirth because that's a set story. And I do want to catch like my interaction with that story. But something like Starfield is going to be very like my game. And that's another thing about reviewing these like open world games. Like, dude, when I play Starfield, it's going to be a drastically different experience from when Brian played Starfield. And you can say that about anything because we have different perceptions, right? Beard hair stuck in my teeth. What I mean by that, though, is I can play Starfield. And Brian was complaining about the New Game Plus aspect, right? I can play Starfield, make a character, do my story. I can play Starfield immediately afterwards. I'm going to have a different experience. So, with the level of open worldness, maybe these people played it for 4 or 5 hours and then wrote these articles. Brian, I'm going to trust Brian a little bit more. He said he put 300 hours into it. That's a real playthrough of this game. Like, that's how big this game is. And he hasn't even done anything. I don't even think he didn't even mess with mods or DLC. I know Jesse played the DLC, so I'm like getting really excited for a change. I don't get as excited for newer games. I was excited for Baldur's Gate 3 and Starfield, so I'm excited for Rebirth too. I'm so excited to play Rebirth. And while we're jawing on, I'm gonna go because I gotta go take a shower and go to the store and stuff. But Grand Theft Auto 6 is gonna be huge. Like I can't wait for that to come out on PC. I will be playing that on Resident Chicken Zero. And we'll talk more about why I'm so excited about Grand Theft Auto 6. I'm not like... I mean, Grand Theft Auto was a big deal when I was like a teenager, and it's not really like my... It's gonna be fucking cool. I mean, it's one of the biggest games ever made. Like, it's a big deal when that game comes out. It's gonna be a big deal. We will talk about it. Normally, I kind of avoid, like... I'm an older guy, so I want to play like older games for the most part, like the Resident Evil games, and I'm streaming Shining Force on my personal YouTube right now. You know, 94. It's a great game, but yeah. So newer stuff. I mean, and I like waiting a year or two to get in there, which kills my views, but I think it makes more genuine content. I don't care about like racing with everybody. Like Grand Theft Auto 6, it'll be a year or two. Like Rebirth, that's been done, you know, but I haven't experienced it. I haven't put my thoughts out there. And I think I'm starting to understand. When game streaming first came out, I was like, I don't get it. I don't want to watch somebody play a video game. But then I love Maximilian, dude. And I don't so much sit there and watch him play a game the whole time. I jump in, say hi on the chat, talk for a minute, bullshit. and kind of get his like what he's saying. Like he's really good. That's a more valuable review to me because he might be going, this game sucks, but I'm watching what he's doing while he's reviewing it. And I go, well, I don't agree with Maximilian on this, and he's really good at like explaining himself and explaining his opinions, and a good person like reviewing a game or playing a game isn't going to need you to agree with them. They're going to express how they feel about something, and then you can go, well, I don't agree. It's cool. I still love Maximilian Dude, but he also has shown me what he's talking about. I don't agree. I can go and do it myself. Oh, I do like this. It somehow reading these game articles, I don't know why that's still a thing. And it's funny because I used to love like PSM and stuff, but I didn't have access to the internet like I do now when I was a little kid, you know? So I think the days of me reading articles on games have been over, but I sometimes on the toilet I'll go to the Google thing, and there's obviously a lot of stuff on Starfield because I'm like getting excited to play that, and I just have to skip over it because I just know it's people talking shit about a game I'm really excited about, and I don't really want to be dissuaded from trying it myself or trying it on here. So anyways, thanks for watching. If I'm not back later, I'll be back on Sunday. I wanted to do a TikTok thing just because of everything going on TikTok. So I know that doesn't sound very exciting, but I got some pretty funny things to show you guys. So today or tomorrow, I don't know, sometime this weekend we'll do it. I'll talk to you guys later. Goodbye.